Okay, so this is week 8, Wednesday, quarter 4, math 6. We're going to focus on absolute value, integers, and fractions. So let's start off with the first one. Absolute value, what's the definition? Do you remember what the definition is? It's basically the distance from 0. And what that means is it's always what? Positive. Okay? For example, this is 0, right? If I go ahead and drive 5 units, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see here is 5 positive? If I go to the right, but then I can also go to the left. Do you see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I were to measure the distance, this is still 5, right? And this is still 5, right? Because it's distance, it is always positive. Do you see that? That's a definition. So so 4, what's your answer for number 2? -5, 3. Okay, 4. Okay, we have a -5 to the third power. Do you see how this is odd, right? When you have, there's a rule here. So you need to write this down in your notebook later, okay? Negative exponents. If it's a negative number to an odd power, your answer is always what? Negative. If it is a negative number and it's an even power, the answer is always. So should it be a positive 125 or a negative 125? Yeah. Okay. Okay, number 5, what's your answer? Good. Number 6? Is it plus? Is it plus? Plus, okay. Okay, what's the next one? No, it's 8 times 7?
-8 times -7.
Oh, it is 56, you're right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, it is. Is it negative or positive?
Positive.
Okay, number 8?
That's 4.
Good. Number 9? Good. Keep going.
2.
Okay, so for number 13, you go ahead and work on number 13, I'll work on number 13, and then we'll see which one we get, okay? Okay, do you have any question on this? Do you understand how I got the answers?
Yeah.
Did you get the same answer? What is going on with this? This thing's just flipping out. Hold on. Okay, read the question, please. Read the question, reduce. Okay, we're gonna do questions 1 and 2 together, or do you know how to do this? So go ahead and start working on 1 and 2. I'm not sure what the common denominator is for number 2. Okay, well, this is gonna be weird, but I might have to do 28 times 9, which is 72, 18, 282. That's as far as it can go for number 3 or 2, number 2. So in the pause right here, take a look at number 2. Okay, question number 3. For question number 3 and number 4, do you see how this one, number 3, is improper fraction? So you get to multiply, so 3 times 3 and then plus the 1, right? So it's 10 over 3 plus 4 times 8 plus the 7. So 32 plus 7 is 39 over 8, right? What's the common denominator between 3 and 8? Less short. So times 8, so that's 80 over 24 plus times 3 times 3, 39 times 3, 9, 10, 11, 4. So you keep on working on it and we'll share our answers together. Yeah, then 97 over 24. Twenty-five, 15. Okay, take a look at number 3 and 4. Number 5 is now multiplying. So when you multiply and divide, you want to reduce everything as much as you can. So first thing that I see on number 5, what can you cancel top and bottom? What can you reduce top and bottom? Yeah, to what? Okay, what else can you reduce? To what? No. 15 divided by 5 is 3.
2.
What's 25 divided by 5?
5.
Yeah, so it's 3 and 5. And then you just multiply across. For number 6, when you have a positive times a negative, your answer is going to be a negative. So we know that.
Yeah.
What can you go ahead and reduce? By what? And then you reduce it one more time. By 3, right? Bless you. What else can you reduce? To what? What's 31 times 2? Do it on the side. What's 31 times 2? Okay.
Oh. Okay, well now I got 31 over 6.
Okay, so now let's multiply across.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, what are we working on now?
7.
Okay. Is it multiply, divide? What is it?
Get out of
Maddie, you have a few more minutes of piano. Let's go. So for number 7, is it times or what is it? What is your answer going to be? Let's first start with that. I always start off with it's going to be positive or negative, right? Now, what can you reduce?
I can read 21, 49, 35, and 10.
To what does that reduce to?
35 and 10 that reduced to 2 and 7. 21 and 49 is 3 and 7.
Okay, but then also, do you see how when you have a 7 on top and a 7 here, you cancel that out? So what is your answer? Good. Okay, number 8. Change the improper fraction to a proper fraction. Now you can go ahead and reduce it.
Look, get out of here.
Maddie, you just added 2 more minutes.
Like, Maddie, that's a skill issue.
Are you done with number 8 yet?
No. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Maddie, get out of here.
Maddie, you now have an extra 5 minutes. Okay, number 9. What is your answer going to be? Positive or negative? So I'm just gonna write it down so that we don't forget. Okay. Now take a look at this. We're gonna flip the reciprocal, right? So you have 42 over 55 times 11 over 28, right?
Yeah.
Start canceling.
December 20. Oh.
Let me know when you're ready. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, so for number 10, times 32 over 15. Now, you know that you can reduce this to a 5 and a 3. This one you can divide it by 4, which will give you an 8 and a 7. So then when you multiply it out, it's a 40 over 28. So if you go ahead and divide it, which is then going to give you a 1 and 12 over 28, 1 and 6 over 14, 1, 3 over 7. Do you see that? Okay. I'm going to quickly just do number 11. I'm going to put it over here. For number 11, I'm going to have to just pause it for now. I'm going to have you just continue working on this. And okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at question number 11. So for number 11, you have negative. Is that an 8 or is that a 5? Is that an 8 or a 5? Is that an 8? Okay, is that a 6 right there?
Yes.
6 times 35 over 6, right? So then, of course, before you do anything else, you can reduce this by 2. So that's a 4 and a 3, right? And then you can also reduce this by 5, which gives you a 1 and a 7. Now you multiply across 28 over 3. So 28 divided by 3, 3 times 7 is 27, or 9, which is a 1. So it's negative 9 and 1/3. That's your answer right here. Okay, for number 11. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Number 12, 125 over 128 times, flip the reciprocal, right? Change the division to multiplication. You got to flip the second fraction. Now, this one's a little bit more difficult because 72 and 128, now they're both even. Do you see that? Because I don't know what number actually goes into them, but I do know I can go ahead and put 36 by dividing by 2, and this is a 64, right? They're still even. Do you see that? So you could divide it by 2. 36 divided by 2 is a 18. 64 is a 32. And again, they're still even, right? So you just keep going, which then becomes a 9. This becomes a 16. And once again, they're still, no, not even, but now I know that I could do divided by 3, right? No, just kidding. You cannot. That's just what it is. Then let's take a look at the next one. 125 and 65, you could divide it by 5. 5 goes into 125. 5 times 2 is 10, 25 times. 5 goes into this once, 13 times, right? And this is as far as you can go. So then you simply take the 25 times the 9. Do you see that? Yeah. 25 times 9, I know 25 times 8 is 200. So that's 225. 60 or 16 times 13 18,346,1, 208. Right? This is an improper fraction, so you're going to divide it once, which then gives you a 17. So your answer is 1/17 over 208. And that's your answer for number 12. Do you see that? Okay. Next, we're going to go to number 13. So you read question number 13 for me, please.
Okay. We have 8 and 4/5 smaller cups of lemonade, and we want to share with your friends. Each friend gets 1/10 a cup to drink. How many friends do you have?
Okay, so are we multiplying or dividing? What do you think we're doing here? Because all we did was multiply and divide, right? Okay, so what are the two numbers you're using? You have this many cups of lemonade, right? And you want to share with your friends. So we don't know how many friends there are. So X is your friends, right? Each of them gets 1/10 cup of a drink. So if X equals is your friends, so equals the number of friends, right? So if I have 8 and 4/5, and I divide it by X, which just means I divide it by the number of friends you have, each of your friends get 1/10 of a cup. Do you see that? Your goal here is to solve for what? Is solve for X, right? So let's do that. 8 and 4/5, you gotta multiply and add, right? That's 44 over 5. Divided by X, if I do a divide to a times, that'll be 1 over X. Do you see that? Equals 1 over 10. So I want you to try to solve that one, okay?
88.
What? Give it a try, see where you stop, please. Okay, you see how the difference here, the situation is hard because you have a fraction and the X is on the denominator. Do you see that? So this is a challenge. Fraction and X in denominator, right?
Yeah.
So you're multiplying. So if you multiply fraction, don't you just multiply across? Let's just do that. 4 times 1 is 44. 5 times I have x 5x equals 1 over 10. What do you do whenever you have an equal sign with two fractions? What do you do? Cross multiply, right? That will give you 44, 1, 0. This will give you 5x. What do you do? Now you don't have a fraction anymore, right? And the x is not in the denominator. So we don't need to worry about this anymore, right? So then what do you do with that 5? What's the opposite of a times? Go, let's divide it.
88.
What is it?
88.
How do you know that? X equals 88. Can you please check? Grab a calculator and just check. I don't know if that's correct or not. It probably is. 88 times 5. Yeah, it is. It is. It's correct. You don't have to check. I got it. Okay, question number 14. Go ahead and read, please. Go. Please stop. Go. Number 14.
I originally did this work and then I.
That's okay. We'll do this later. So you do this later. Let's go read. Go ahead.
You have 10 and 2 7 pounds of canned wax to make an army of 10 with a small 12 wax is in each candle. Hint, write an equation first.
Well, that's a hint for the first one, number 13 too. So you get the two numbers, right? What do? Add, multiply, or divide? No.
No, not adding.
You have the total amount of wax that you have. You want to make 12 candles, right? Okay, so now we got to figure out, so we know it's a division problem. Now we got to figure out what divided by what equals what, right? You got two numbers. One of them have to be an X. Which two numbers do you put in there? Which number goes where? Look up there. So where do you put it? Think about the question.
12 is the total amount.
No, 10 and 2/7 ounce is the total amount of wax you have. You want to make 12 candles.
12 is the first number.
No.
Second number.
Okay. And what's the first number?
X.
No. Okay. The question is, how much wax is in each candle? Okay. So this is how you do it. Total amount of wax divided by the number of candle equals ounces in each candle. Do you see that? Total ounces of wax divided by 12 candles equals how many ounces in one candle in each, right? So what's your first number? Total number of wax is the first number. So which number represents the total amount of wax?
Wax 2/7.
Yeah. Divided by
12.
Total number of candles equals, what does it equal?
What's in here? Calm down. 72/7 times 1/12.
No. What does it equal though? You gotta write the equation. We're not on the equation yet. What does it equal?
I don't know.
What does the question ask you? How much wax is in each candle? This part right here, how much wax is in each candle is X. So that equals X. Do you see that? You gotta write the equation. So we're gonna review this one more time. Look up, please. Total amount of candle or wax is 10 and 2/7 divided by number of candle, there are 12, equals X. This you have to change from improper to proper. 72/7 times. This is a 12/1, right? So if you change it from a division to a multiplication, you gotta flip this to 1/2. Now, before you do anything, I notice that these two numbers, I could divide it by 2. They're still even, so I can keep going. And I can divide it by 3. Do you see that? And 6. There we go. So now 6 times 1 is 6. 7 times 1 is 7. So this is X. And what does X stand for?
How much wax is
Ounce in each ounce of wax, I should say, ounce of wax in each candle. That's your answer. All right, that concludes everything.